The show must go on. My shoulders painted like the old line. I'll face sure.
Yes, so Hairless here. Today we're reacting to Adam Lambert. It's been a while since I've reacted to him. This is The Show Must Go On. It was the members poll winner for which Adam Lambert song to do next. My last reaction to him was actually my first time hearing him, and that was his cover of Cher's Believe. Please do check that out if you haven't already. Card will be up here. I really enjoyed that. The arrangement was cool. It changed the song's harmony and in turn the structure or shape. I thought it was very, very interesting. So this is my second time hearing Adam. I know he's well known for performing with Queen as Queen and Adam Lambert, so it will be cool hearing a Queen song from him, and not just any Queen song. This was my absolute favourite song for a portion of my childhood, probably when I was around 7 or 8 years old. I absolutely loved the song. Absolutely loved it. I mean, I still do. I love it. I think it's just a great song, especially considering Freddie Mercury's condition at the time. As for the version of Adam's we're going to be doing, there are several live versions it seems, and in the comments I received there wasn't any one particular live version that was requested specifically. Every live performance, if truly live, will be different, so it's a bit of a gamble going in and picking one. What if I choose one that's maybe not as good as others? So I'm going with this Queen family sing-along version. It does appear to be reduced in length a bit based on the video duration, probably for TV broadcasting reasons. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Empty spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. On and on, does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mindless crime, behind the curtain, in the pantomime. Hold the line, does anybody wanna take it anymore? The show must go on. The show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. My shoulders painted like the
Ooh, that's... Okay, I see what they've done here, why it's a shorter performance. We're already halfway through, so I think I'm going to just continue to the end, and then I'll go over my analysis afterwards. But I'll edit in now all the analysis that I do on what we've heard so far. If you don't want to hear my analysis, go to the timestamp. Ooh, he's got a voice on him, doesn't he? Great song, great cover. A lot of interesting things there with this performance, and some decisions that Adam chose to make musically. Some similar to and some quite different to the original song. Okay, so firstly, in terms of key, Adam is singing just one semitone down from the key Freddie sang in. So instead of B minor, we get... I really like the introduction to the original song. For me, one of the things that I just love is the bass line, which perfectly outlines the chord progression. Let's hop to the piano and just play the introduction from the original song. Listen up for the bass line, watch the left hand. All of the key notes are actually the root notes of the chords that we hear. So yeah, it's such an iconic opening. The chords are so recognizable. It always kind of reminded me of the famous Chopin piece Prelude in E minor, but kind of in reverse. In that piece, the hand that is playing the single notes doesn't really change, and it's the chords that change. Whereas here in The Show Must Go On, the chords don't really change and it's the single line part that is the moving part. The Chopin, really famous, used in loads of films and TV shows and stuff, and The Show Must Go On. I think they're both excruciatingly, emotionally painful pieces of music. So here in Adam's version, what do we get? It's a reduced version. There's no opportunity for this staticness in the chords and the moving bass line. We get it there, just a little bit, but it's cut down for time reasons, I guess. Instead, we get these arpeggiated figures in the piano. It's a lighter sound, a different sound, similar in sentiment to the Queen version, but different in sound. You decide how this makes you feel compared to Freddie Mercury's version. Also, in this introduction, there's no beat. In the original, there is this quite dramatic bit. So, the vocal entry. The original, I've always loved it. On those first lyrics, empty spaces, Freddie doesn't come in precisely, he slides into it.
Empty spaces.
And then the phrase kind of grows in strength so that his vibrato is really allowed to come through on the last note of that phrase.
Are we living for?
Adam also has a kind of break on his entry, but overall he's more delicate, a bit more precise.
Empty spaces. What are we living for?
On the next line, abandoned places, I guess we know the score. Both Adam and Freddie seem to appear to be a bit more hesitant on the first half of the phrase, which really emphasises the increase in power, the growth, on the second half.
Places, I guess we know the score. Abandoned places, I guess we know the score.
Adam comes down a bit more at the end of this phrase. In the original, on that second line, I really love the bass line that we hear. It starts quite high up.
Abandoned places, I guess.
That descent, it's falling, collapsing. Downward motion in music is generally more negative than a rising upwards motion. We don't have that in Adam's reduced version here. A bit later on, we get a sense of urgency when the staccato strings come in.
Another hero, another mind's crime.
They're essentially playing the chordal opening from the original song. Because it comes in now, 30 seconds in, we might not be expecting it. I certainly wasn't. So at least I think it's more effective. It seems more urgent. Adam definitely has a more theatrical way of singing the word pantomime.
Beyond the curtain, in the pantomime, hold the line.
And on hold, that strained sounding voice, the coarseness to its texture, that's very similar to how Freddie did in the original.
Hold the line.
And what comes next? Well, the chorus. That simple, amazing, famous chorus. The obvious change in Adam's version is the harmonies that we hear. It's Adam's voice multitracked, I believe.
The show must go on. The show must go on.
Kind of the simplest harmony you can get, just in thirds. So the melody, and then the harmony. So there's not too much, it doesn't detract anything from the melody. We don't get this air bit that we do get in the original. And to be honest, I think this is a good decision. That's kind of like an affectation, and mimicking it could reduce the originality of Adam's version or his take on it. Yes, I know it's a cover, but cover artists do still make performances their own. Then we get this bit.
Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
That cheeky, hopeful smile that he has there. What a voice he has though. Lyrics about his heart breaking. As he sings, his voice, it's almost breaking, cracking.
Inside my heart is breaking.
But still so much precision and control. And his eyes, you can see how he's feeling the music.
My makeup may be flaking, but my smile.
I wonder if his makeup enhances them. I'm sure it must do. I'm not someone who wears makeup. I know next to nothing about makeup. A suitable point to bring this up are the lyrics talking about the makeup flaking. And at this part, I really love how Freddie elongates it.
My makeup may be flaking, but my smile.
Just that tiny bit extra time for the rapid vibrato of his to come through. Such power to the sound. Adam doesn't choose to do this elongation. Instead, it's more rhythmically regular, which serves a purpose.
Makeup may be flaking, but my smile.
It's that 3-note descent on smile. a very clear 3-note descent, which is kind of the opposite of what Freddie does in the original, which is more of a slide. So continuing from the unexpected change.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies. Fairy tales of yesterday will grow but never die. I can fly, my friends. Show must go on. Yeah, yeah. Show must go on. Yeah, yeah. I'll face it with a grin. I ain't never giving up on with the show. Show must go on. Show must go on. Ooh, I'll try the bill, I'll overkill. I have to find the will to carry on. The show must go on.
Alright, so from where we left off for the second half, there's a big whole section that's been removed from the original song in this reduced version. This is another verse, and we actually get a key change.
Whatever happens.
So we've gone from to this. But you'll notice that when they get back to the chorus, it's in the same key as before.
Show must go on.
And when we heard it before.
Show must go on.
So how have they done this? Well, they changed the harmonic progression a little bit. They use a slightly different chord sequence to return to the original key just before the chorus comes in.
Show must go.
We get another chorus and then we get a guitar solo. Adam's version misses out all of this, which is where we get all of the time saved from. Original song over 4 minutes, Adam's version 2.5 minutes. It's a shame because some of my favourite parts of the original song do come in this missed out section, such as this bit,
What we are living for.
or these repeated phrases.
I'll soon be turning.
But look, we're here now, we're reacting to this version. There's nothing stopping me from listening to the various live versions of Adam performing this. So do let me know in the comments which is your favourite live version. Right, so Adam, he goes straight to the bridge now. That's this suddenly positive section. The music shifts to the major, the lyrics, my soul is painted like the wings on butterflies. Fairy tales of yesterday will grow but never die. I can fly, my friends. Everything is just overwhelmingly positive at this point.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies. Fairy tales of yesterday.
Quite ironically, I always found this to be one of the saddest parts of the song. I was young when I first heard this song, as I said, but my mum really loved Queen and Freddie. We'd always listen to the CD in the car, so I was very aware of how he died and the condition he was in when they made this song. Adam's musical choices for this bit, they are different, and I do like them. For example, he makes some slight rhythmic adjustments here and there, such as on the word painted.
My soul is painted
And then he does this exaggerated swelling on wings of butterflies.
like the wings of butterflies.
The next line, he comes off the word yesterday to then grow into the following line. And the lyrics are, will grow but never die.
Fairy tales of yesterday will grow but never die.
On die here, he again very precisely sings separate notes descending rather than sliding or merging them together. But he does continue that descent down and he actually finishes a tiny bit below the true note,
Never die.
which contrasts perfectly the next line. He's gone a tiny bit lower than he needed to, so now the jump up is even that tiny bit bigger. Boom. Out of nowhere, what power, I can fly, my friends.
I can fly, my friends.
And then we get the chorus. I like his decision, actually, to have the chorus exclusively in the backing track. The reason for this, well, there's not really much point in me talking about it. It's very obvious. It's a show of what he's capable of. Just wow.
Show must go on. Yeah.
Here, he repeats yeah on the same note twice. How does he get some difference, some variety in there? First note, straight tone. Second note, the wobbles, the vibrato.
Show must go on. Yeah.
This is crazy high for a man. Not objectively, I'm sure most guys can sing that note. What's crazy is the fact that he's using a blended voice for it. So a mix of his chest and his head voices. It's what allows for this mad power in the sound. It's crazy. That's a minor third above this note, which is the note I call the wow moment for operatic tenors. And the defiance in his face here. And his voice, yeah, what a singer. They did keep in the second kind of iconic guitar solo. And then we get this bit. Now in the original, it's this kind of chorus moment. I think it's almost impossible to listen to without joining in, without wanting to sing along. Adam doesn't sing here, so by him not singing, we know he's preparing for something, and that is this huge ending, an incredible display of skill. Now, I will admit that what Freddie does in the original here, on the word show, it's heartbreaking how the vowel sound changes to become closed. It's an anguished sound fundamentally, but so much power and strength behind it. Almost like his last cry or something. Adam has taken a different approach. I think it's a bit more positive. As I mentioned earlier, descending is generally a more negative motion, ascending more positive. What does he do? He starts slow and ascends right to the top. Or hopeful, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very sad song. The mental strength and the physical strength to it must have taken Freddie to do this, to perform it like that, knowing that death is fast approaching. But if you heard it, you'd never be able to tell. Freddie said the show must go on, and I think it is going on through Adam here. Yeah, he's quite the singer, isn't he? Quite the singer. Alright, let's leave that one there. Thank you to everyone who recommended this one by voting on the poll, and thank you to everyone who has recommended me other Adam Lambert songs to do for the future. As always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you enjoy my content, want to support me, join the community or vote on future polls, you can do so by joining the Patreon on the screen now or the YouTube membership link below, and I will see you next time.